in the Tango Towers Chapel, and on here we've got a Sony Vaio, is it pronounced, computer, and it's just what I want because it's Windows XP, and it might actually work with some of the 1990s computers, camcorders we've got, because it's got FireWire and all that kind of thing. So we bought this for 20 quid broken. I think the computer works, but the monitor doesn't. So the idea of this video is to sort out the monitor. Mr Chippie, do you want to switch it on? And we'll see what happens. This is what we picked up from Ely. If we've published the Ely video by the time you've seen this.
It's switched on. I think it does. It doesn't automatically come on like this.
Yeah, he says that's exactly what he said. Good. So I think what we need to do is take the monitor apart, and I've no doubt that's a capacitor issue. Of course we could use the computer with a different monitor, but it'd be nice to have that Sony one working. Let's see what happens. The next day, we've put this back together. Not a lot in it, is there? And what I'll just zoom in. So on this main board, you've got a separate power supply. It goes in at 12 volts. And what we've decided to do was to replace all the surface mount electrolytics with conventional electrolytics, but all of the highest quality Nichicon ones, 105 degree rated, and most of these are slightly higher voltage which came out. So it all changed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 of them. So it did half of them yesterday because it's a bit of a fiddly thing. Done half of them today. So I think we showed, I've done so many videos recently, I don't know what I've showed or what I haven't. So if we turn this back round, we've got a perfect picture. So it was all shimmering on the blacks, and then after 30 seconds the whole thing went off. So I think we have fixed it. Good. So I think it cost about £3 in parts, but it's taken a good 2 or 3 hours to do. So we'll probably come back to that when we put it back together and finish the video off. So we start putting this back together now the next day on Sunday, and these are the capacitors which Mr Chippie put out. He's not damaged any print in putting in the other ones which we showed yesterday, where he's put conventional electrolytics in. These have only lasted 20 years. I think that's rubbish, but there you go. You know, some people like changing products every 3 years, don't they? But I have to admit that as somebody who, I like to buy one product in my lifetime. It sounds ridiculous. I expect 15 years out of a car. You know, we're here in the chapel where there's the 1860 something pipe organ, and you know that'll be here. Well, it'll be somewhere in another 150 years. So I managed to get the service manual because I don't know how this goes back together because Mr Chippie did it. He's not here at the moment. I'd like to get this out and done. And seem to have got 2 variations on the manual. This seems to not have a lot in it, and it's been badly scanned. In fact, the only thing that's anywhere near is this disassembly thing, which is actually what we want. But this manual seems to be scanned properly. Right, so I'll work out what screws that I need to do. Putting the screen cover back on, I've had to drill 2 holes for our electrolytics, which are too big to go in. So they are just about 3 or 4 millimeters through. You know, this is ours. We wouldn't even do one for a customer. but this is sometimes, that's the way out of it. We're actually putting better parts in, but that's what we're doing to get around our problem. I'm not ordering these surface mount ones, so there we go. So it's now time to put the lid on it. I'll go and find it. So these are from 2003 according to the service manual. Tell you what, before I put the lid on it, I think we ought to make sure that it still works. Put some power on. There'd be nothing worse than putting all those screws in to find out something wasn't right. Doing something. Our computer could be at risk. Automatic updates are turned off. Well, I can assure you this, it's never going to be connected to the internet. Right, well, point is the monitor's working, that's what we're here to do. So I'll just pop the power off. I'll unplug the mains adapter. Yeah, you take all these plugs out and you thread it all through later. So trying to get these thumb screws in, they sound like a medieval torture, but you know what I mean. Okay, so is it obvious which screws go where? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. No, we've got 4 identical self-tappers. So I would think, without having to look at the service manual, we've got this pedestal. And then we've got a screw left over. Whoops. Good. Tell you what, we'll put the 15D in first. So to get those thumb screws in, when you've got no space, I mean, not everybody is going to have the dexterity to do this. And the cables dress through here, just like that. There we go. I think Mr Chippie was dealing with this, so I'm going to not go any further with it. But there we are, we have fixed the Sony monitor. So our £20 computer has now cost us 2 hours of time and about £3 in parts to do that. It's absolutely spot on. So that service manual, it's the American model, but you know, so what? We didn't need the manual for the electronic, it was just which screw went where. So I hope you found that one interesting. It's a bit different to usual. I've got a realistic TRC 1001 handheld on the bench, a 1981 flagship handheld, and because it's got some damage to the printed circuit board, I'm gluing it with epoxy resin. I'm just waiting for that to dry. So that video will be later on, and we'll be able to get in on the air testing as well, I'm absolutely sure. That's for a trade customer in Sheffield. So there you go, our Sony SDM-S51 from 2002, fixed with conventional capacitors. Thanks for watching.